I'm really excited to be here today with this wonderful panel. I was excited to hear yesterday the folks from Atlanta, the Oakland Cemetery, talking about how important it is to connect with your future audience through social media. It's going to really help our attendance. But then, even better, not for Patrick's sake, but Patrick's ill, so this is your only choice today at 1 o'clock. So we're really happy to have you here. If Gavin, if you want to come on up, I'll introduce our 3 panel members. And this is going to be pretty informal. If you have any questions at any time while we're speaking, just raise your hand and somebody will recognize you. First we have China Brackeen. China does many things. She's a board member of Knox Heritage. She just was chair of an event that we had last Saturday night that raised over $25,000 for Knox Heritage, so that's really wonderful. China is also the founder and principal of Attack Monkey Productions, and they do a lot of entertainment production and PR promotions. So we're very excited to have China here. Tim Knight. I met Tim through Twitter, and he was always tweeting, and I could tell he was interested in historic preservation and regional activities, so I invited him to be on this panel. And he now works for Momentum Broadcasting. He does marketing for Momentum Broadcasting in Knoxville, so we're happy to have Tim here. And then finally, Gavin Baker, and he's Director of New Media at Moxie Carmichael, and they're a premier public relations firm in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they do a lot of work around the region. So I was trying to put together a panel of people that had various interests and roles in social media and also understood the importance of historic preservation. So, all right, show of hands. How many people have a Facebook account? Okay, great. How many people manage a Facebook account for their organization? Okay. All right, how many people have a Twitter account, personal Twitter account? All right, how many people manage a Twitter account for an organization? All right, now you personal people who have a personal account, how many actually post on that Twitter account? Okay. All right. How many people have heard of Foursquare? Flickr. Okay. MailChimp. No relation to Attack Monkey.
Although well named.
Although very well named, yes. Very, okay, what about Mashable? All right, so we have some work to do today. So, Gavin's put together a pretty simple introduction to some of these sites, so let's start. Sure. Actually, no, I was gonna give you, each of you to tell about 2 minutes about what you think about social media and why you love it and how you think it could be really important to heritage tourism. Yeah, go ahead, Gavin.
I started using social media probably 2006, 4 years ago, when I just graduated, and I was looking for information on how to be a brand manager was my goal. And so I started reading a bunch of blogs. Twitter hadn't been invented yet. Facebook was still very much in its infancy. And so blogging was kind of one of the key places I learned about social media. Social media's greatest impact is the ability that it's a two-way conversation between you and someone else, or you and multiple other people. And so what it allows brands to do, it allows nonprofits to do, it allows people to do, honestly, is just make a better connection. And so one of the things that all nonprofits and all brands, particularly nonprofits in the historic preservation space, have is a story. You've got tons of stories. And so people always want to tell stories and they want to connect around them. And so that's what I think in terms of, for you guys, is the biggest impact, is the fact that you can take the story that you're already telling, and you can allow other people to contribute to it, and you can allow that conversation to go both ways. It's not just you pushing out any longer, it's now a push and pull.
Tim?
One of the magic things, of course, about social media is relationship building, because it is a two-way conversation, and in those conversations you develop very important, meaningful relationships with other individuals of like interest, because through social media you're identifying people like interest. And I've got a long list of people that I first met via Twitter, and how I got selected on this panel today, through Twitter interactivity. Those relationships evolve beyond that into something else. And when you're thinking of historic preservation, social media is a terrific way to identify people with like-minded vision, communicate, and develop a more long-term, meaningful relationship with that person in, your historic preservation project, heritage tourism, etc.
Yeah, I mean, building a relationship is key, and in an increasingly fractured world where it is very difficult to have a one-on-one connection with someone, social media allows you an opportunity to, like Tim said, have a conversation with someone who is a fan of your business or of your organization, and to really connect with them on a deeper level than you've ever been able to before. But beyond that, as traditional media is changing so rapidly, if you think about the fact that most people probably aren't watching television commercials anymore because they can use their TiVo and fast forward through them. People aren't listening to the radio as much anymore because they have their iPods in their car instead. Or maybe they have satellite radio, so they don't have a local radio station they're looking at. Even newspapers are changing. People are reading them online instead of getting subscriptions these days. So how are you going to advertise to people? How are you going to tell them about your upcoming events or tell them about a promotion you're running? The best, fastest, and least expensive way to do that is through social media. And so if you've done all the groundwork, laid all the groundwork to make sure that people are engaged in your social media profile, then you can communicate with them quickly and accurately.
So, let's talk about Facebook first. Is that the first slide? I think it is. 500 million users, and this has grown exponentially in the last few years. It started in 2004 by a Harvard college student. Some of you probably heard about a movie came out about him last week. And then it was opened up to other college students, and then finally anybody with an email address, I think in 2007. And I still remember the first time I heard somebody say, oh, let's get together next week. Okay, we'll set a date. Oh, just Facebook me. And they use it as a verb, and I thought that's really. And I was not on Facebook at the time, so I had to go and set up an account to see what it was all about. But it's a really great way to make connections with people who share your interests, your old classmates, your workmates. And I think what's really important about any of these social media tools is that you're reaching this younger generation, people who, you're 13 years old, they have a Facebook account most likely, 13 or over. So the age from 13 to 50, those are really, really active. And even a lot of senior citizens now are active too on Facebook. So when you're trying to think about how am I going to develop the next generation of donors, you need to establish a connection with them through one of these or more of these methods.
Well, an interesting statistic about Facebook too, I read probably 3 or 4 months ago. More people get their news, whether it's local or national, from Facebook than from any other media. So, that's shocking to me, but it makes a lot of sense. So, you think about any major news story, most people are finding out about it on Facebook first.
Can we pull up a news feed of Facebook, or do we want to do that now, or do we want to go through this whole
You can do that.
list? Okay.
Usually, of course, it is a medium to speak with younger people, but Facebook is an interesting phenomenon because how many older people are actually very active users of Facebook because of the interactive components with family, the photo sharing is becoming the #1 photo sharing, video sharing platform on the internet.
And there are ways to make your information perfectly private and safe. I know that a lot of people are concerned about security. You can set that to be as private or as open as you want, and you can control your site, your organization's page as well. So this is what's known as the home page, and it shows just a chronological list of things that have been posted, and we can actually chime it right there. So this is actually so let's go to the most recent at the top there. And so East Tennessee Preservation Alliance, somebody in the back of the room from their iPhone. I'm on the screen. Village Tour on Facebook. So anybody can we click on City People and see how many fans they have? Or how many people like them? I'm still using the like
Okay.
the fan thing. They have over 500 people. So at any given time, those 550 people can be online and they will see that message that City People posted for free right there in front of them. Now this is City People's main page. So again, it's a chronological listing of what they have put onto their page. They can create an event. So people can click and decide. Here on the left, we've got this many people. Oh look, there's Becky Hancock and Holly Cook and David Watson. So all these people have chosen to attend this City People tour. So you can put website information, you can put ticket links, and create this event. It's very easy. It takes maybe 5 minutes to set up an event, and then people can post on this page. Okay?
I actually found out about a Knox Heritage event through Facebook. It was the Green Home. I didn't know anything about it, but I followed Knox Heritage and actually went and toured it. Great. The Green Home is, well, it doesn't really matter, but it's a home that's using green technology in Knox Village. Also to check out Facebook is the usage stats on Facebook are enormous in terms of time spent on site. Actually, when they had first launched the site, they had a number of internet kind of visionaries who had created kind of very cool technology that everyone was using, and they were looking at Facebook stats, and they said they must be counting these wrong because there's no way 85% of all the users log in for at least every day. That's just not a stat that exists on the internet. Not that high. Or users don't really spend an hour on the site continuing. And they found out that the stats were completely accurate. People get into a Facebook trance, and Facebook's designed to stay that way, right? If you've been on Facebook, you do that. You're looking at pictures, and all of a sudden you're just clicking a picture, 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, I didn't know this person had done all these things. That's very normal. Facebook's designed to do that. So if that happens to you, it's supposed to.
Let's go to the Knox Heritage page, and we'll show you how we use our page. So across the top we have the wall is where the main feed of information happens, but then you have information, so there's a tab at the top that says info, and I will admit that the way this account is set up is as a business and not as a nonprofit, but so that's where you can put your main stats. And the next page, the photos, is where, you know, we really can, it's a great way, we can update these photos immediately. So when I go back to the office on Monday, we'll post all the photos from this conference. So we have event photos. We were promoting historic signs a few weeks ago with JFG is going to restore one of their historic signs. So we asked our friends and our members to post their own historic sign photos. If you scroll down, all these people loaded their own sign photos. So it gets them involved. Like, oh, my favorite historic sign is this. And so they went and they posted it on the Knox Heritage Facebook page, and it became part of our information. A way that we can support. We promoted our summer suppers. There's some beautiful pictures of the founder of, go back down. The founder of Ruby Tuesdays, their home in Knoxville, in their beautiful dining room. So there's photos there. We have just tons of albums. It's a great way to not load your own website with lots of pictures.